Hi there. I wanted to talk today about how to implement sustainability marketing in your overall restaurant marketing mix. This is something that's actually really important. It's something that your customers care about. It can help you with employee retention if they know that you are like genuinely trying to make a difference. And so I think that one of the things that a lot of restaurants do is they will do these amazing initiatives and then they forget to tell people about these amazing initiatives that they have that are really that make them much more sustainable as a business. And so today I wanted to talk about how to actually talk about your sustainability marketing. But first, I wanted to just touch base on one thing, one caveat to talking about sustainability as part of your marketing mix. You'd better be doing it. Do not tout yourself as participating in sustainability initiatives and then you do not follow through. You will get caught, you will get called out, whether it's by your employees, whether it's by your customers. And so make sure that that is actually a part of what it is that you are doing. Is you're really putting your money where your mouth is. You are following through. You're not just talking the talk, you are walking the walk when it comes to sustainability marketing. So let me give you some examples of some things that you might be doing that are really sustainable that you may not have even thought about, talking about with your customers, with your staff. One thing that is an amazing sustainability effort is sourcing local products, produce. People love hearing about this. Our restaurants that talk about the local producers they support, what that does, saying that it reduces carbon footprint, it puts money back into the local economy. Um, it supports shopping small. It is fewer miles between farm to table. All of those different initiatives or all those different things that you talk about, that's a great thing to be able to say. Where whoever you source locally, whatever local produce, products, ingredients you source that are, people tend to think of local within about 100-mile radius of where you are. So that's one thing to think about. Another thing would be any initiatives you've taken to reduce food waste, to compost food waste. There are a lot of cities now that offer green bins for restaurants. There are a lot of restaurants now that have restaurant gardens and are doing their own composting as part of their restaurant garden. And so they're closing that loop of food waste to compost to restaurant garden back into the restaurant. Talk about that if that is what you are doing. Another thing that you may be doing is using solar power, or purchasing wind credits for your restaurant. Are you taking initiatives to conserve water? What are those different things looking like and how are you utilizing them? One prime example of an eco friendly initiative of one of my clients, it was a taco shop. They had 5 locations, and they had a no straw slash eco straw policy. So they didn't automatically put a straw on the table. They would ask people, "Do you want a straw?" And then if you did want a straw, they'd actually give you a straw that was made from agave waste from producing tequila. And it worked out great because it's the circle story of we serve a lot of tequila in our restaurants. We don't like plastic waste. But hey, if you want a straw, this is actually made from an agave plant. And it was this lovely little full circle story. And also a way to say, here's why we don't do straws in our restaurant. Um, Other restaurants will talk about things like, oh, we don't support, we only support fisheries that do line fishing. They don't do they don't have bycatch or, they're not doing big net fishing, things along those lines. And so think about what your eco friendly initiatives are as a restaurant and how you can talk about them. One of my favorite ways to have a restaurant talk about this is to actually do what I'm doing right now, do a live stream and talk about why you're doing it, why you're passionate about it, why it sets you apart, and how it's actually happening. Showcase that. Show your green bin, and just be like, hey, I know this is not glamorous and it doesn't look delicious, but here's what we are doing to reduce our waste. So you have to communicate to your customers what it is that you are doing. It also really helps to communicate to your customers that you are being hyper aware of how these initiatives impact the greater community. And so if people are complaining about you not just automatically giving a straw, take 2 seconds and say, "No problem. We definitely have a straw here, but here's why we don't give one out automatically." So many of them end up in the garbage, and plastic waste is terrible. And so it's okay to initiate that just a little bit, not in a preachy way, but in an educational way. Um, and so be sure that you are actually communicating to customers in your location. You can do that through signage. One place I love to do it is actually bathroom stall newsletters, where I'll like put a little flyer in a bathroom stall, and I'll have something in there while I've got a really captive audience that talks about here's what we're doing to be eco-friendly. Another place that's really great is someplace on the bottom of the menu having a little sustainability box at the bottom of your menu to communicate that. You can put this on your website. We loved doing blog posts around it specifically. Those were really, really useful for communicating. And then also one of the other things that I love doing is posting on social media. And so those are different ways that you can communicate to your customers your eco-friendly initiatives through marketing activities. Something else that is really, really effective is whenever a new eco-friendly, whenever you start doing something new that is very, very eco-friendly, it is worthwhile to send out a press release. One of my other clients was a coffee roaster, and also had a coffee shop. And one of the things that they did was they redid their packaging to be much more biodegradable friendly. And so that was one thing. And then the other thing is they started donating their coffee grounds to a company that was doing, some pretty heavy duty like composting and things like that. And so we actually sent out a press release about their sustainability efforts, and that did get picked up. They got a little nice news story about it. And so that gives them a degree of legitimacy for something that they're already doing, but they get a little bit of extra credit for it. So that's something else you can do to communicate to the public at large. The next thing that you need to do is to train your staff. A lot of times employees now, they want to know that they are part of something bigger. It's almost like you are marketing your sustainability efforts to your team, to your staff, to your servers, to your backroom people. First of all, train them to participate. Train them to work on the composting. Train them to, not offer those not just drop straws every time. Train them on how to communicate that to clients, and also how to promote your efforts within the restaurant itself. So those are a couple of different ways of marketing your sustainability efforts in your restaurant. And if you have any questions, if you have any marketing needs, my name is Lydia Martinez. I am with L Marketing and Events and Restaurant Owners Marketing Academy, and I would love to help support you. Go ahead and reach out. Thank you so much.